Fresh off the broiler, it's time to ignite. Light up the airwaves, hit that spotlight. Join the ride, groove with all your might. In this funky podcast, we take flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the studio the one, the only Burger Planet. Hello and welcome to Fresh Off the Broiler podcast. I'm your host, Burger Planet, and today we'll be interviewing Tommy NC 2010. Danny, let's go to the big screen. Here we are, live. We're here live with Tommy NC 2010. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you just fine, Burger.
All right, we are live. Let's give it up one more time for Tommy for taking the time to do the podcast. All right, Tommy. Now, for people who don't know who you are, can you give a little bit of backstory and how you got in, when you started content creation, and just tell us a little bit about your history as a creator.
Who I am Tommy NC 2010 2 belts, and also known as Tommy NC 2010 on YouTube, and also on TikTok, creator of the walking TikToks, vlogging, on all sorts of free spoken word. I started back in 2010, and I've been trailblazing ever since 2010. I've run into a bit of a notch in my belt, I would say, but I am still burning a hole through the hemisphere that is YouTube.
What's this notch you're talking about?
Well, back ago, my father passed away, and I kind of fell into a bit of a depression. And
oh God,
ever since then, I've been trying to get back on the. I've been doing my show, the Tommy Talk Show. Been trying to bring that back, but it's been kind of here and there.
I was actually a guest on Tommy's podcast like years ago, probably maybe 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I found you because of Ice Poseidon, and I know that wasn't exactly a most exciting. I know it was an exciting moment in your life. You were traveling around the country doing all sorts of things. I think that was one of the reasons why I found you, is because of Ice Poseidon.
Oh, really? So you're a Ice Poseidon fan back in the day?
I would say I'm a spectator of him. I was a spectator of him. I was watching closely, and also when we remember James Worley.
Oh, I think I've heard that name before.
You and him used to talk all the time. Like he tried to help me out in the past. He helped me find my biological mother, but otherwise, I don't much talk to him anymore now because I kind of just don't trust the guy.
Wow, that's pretty neat though. So you had never met your biological mother before that?
Yeah, I have a whole entire documentary called 28 Years Later on my channel.
Wow, how did that go? Was she receptive to meet you, or was it awkward, or how did it go?
It was very opening. She's a very lovely person, very kind. I had made a video on Facebook, and James took my video and put it on his page, Homeless Lives Matter, and her friend...
You're not homeless, though, are you?
No, he underlined that Tommy has never been homeless.
Oh.
And he was just trying to put the video out there so more people could see it, basically.
Mm. But you don't talk to him anymore? Yeah, I never really was like that close to that guy personally, but
I don't much talk to him anymore, but I appreciate for the stuff he did help me with around playlist and all that other stuff. I appreciate that, but now I just don't much speak to him anymore now.
Did you buy those belts? And if so, how much were they? Because that one looks like a custom job.
This right here is the World Heavyweight GoldenEye Championship belt. And this one right here is the World Heavyweight MTV's Made Championship belt. This one was like around 200, and a fan of mine sent this to me.
Is the $200 one, is that metal or plastic on the badge?
It's metal.
Damn.
Yes, it's got custom and everything on it, like for style, and it's a dedication to my father also.
Oh, those are.
He was one of the.
I thought that was like armor you were wearing. This almost looks like it's like battle armor with the way you're wearing it.
Yes,
ready to go into the podcast battle.
It's I'm a man of style, and I'm a man of style. I like to wear the fedora, and I've had a up and down past, and all I try to do is just entertain, and the spectrum that is here is YouTube and through TikTok, and just try to fill the entertainment void of positivity and insanity.
So you've actually experienced an upward momentum at some point. What's that like? Because I never have.
How was that, man? Like you had such a momentum back in the day when you were like trailblazing with Ice Poseidon. Like I know, and I'm not trying to be negative here. From my perspective, they kind of treated you like shit, which I thought that was ridiculous that they did that to you personally.
Yeah, I was kind of like just the whipping boy or something.
You're not a whipping boy. You're your own dude. You set your own standards. You set your own trailblazing, and you set the standards for who you are. You're putting the burgers on the grill because you're Burger Planet. Because you're watching Fresh on the Grill with Burger Planet and Tommy NC 2010. And remember to dial up 911 because you need another burger in your mouth while you're watching Burger Planet.
It's fresh off the broiler, but that's close enough. I see what you're saying.
Fresh off the broiler, sorry.
The grill, the broiler, it's fresh. All that matters, it's fresh. Hot off.
It's fresh. Always fresh. Not 2 days after. Fresh.
Yeah, it almost looks like we're brothers in like I see like some. You got any Irish, Scottish kind of heritage?
I'm a mutt. I'm what you call a mutt. I have a little bit of everything in me.
I feel like I'm talking to my long lost brother over here. Now I actually did an interview for Tommy's podcast back in the old days. Was I still on You Now, or was that on YouTube when we did that?
I think it was on YouTube. I think you were one of my interviews I had on there.
Were you on You Now too back in the day?
I was experimenting with stuff. I was going back and forth, and I occasionally would go on You Now and do a stream and do a stream on my YouTube channel, just kind of going back and forth.
Are you streaming now?
Not really right now. I've just been pre-recording. I'm gonna try to go live this Sunday for Tommy Talks Sunday night, but I'm gonna see how that will work.
Nice. Yeah, I've been streaming on there for a couple years. And I've been doing pretty well on there. I left Twitch about a year and a half ago, I guess. About a year and a half or something. But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Check it out, kick.com.
Yeah, that's where we're streaming right now, and then I'll be putting this on YouTube, uploading it later.
Oh, okay. I looked up your YouTube channel on my channel. I couldn't find the live stream. I was looking for it, and I didn't realize you were on Kick. My bad.
Oh, that's good. No worries. So what have you been doing like the last, I know one thing that was like kind of put you on the map or on the radar at one point, a YouTuber that used to be really big, his name was Leafy something?
Leafy is here, yeah, I know.
Leafy is here, and then he like made fun of you for autism or something like that, right? Like was picking on you, and it was like a big thing. Do you want to tell people about that? Because that was like a pretty big moment in your career.
So basically, if people don't know about that already, Leafy targeted me a while back ago and made a bunch of stupid comments about me. And then I basically made a video saying I was going to quit YouTube. and then also keep start trying to jump on that train and prove that I'm a faker, and then like say I was faking my autism, and
Damn.
but it turned out well for me. I've done what I've done, and I've made videos over the years, and I've just been trailblazing as much as I can to just inspire and entertain. I've fallen in love with TikTok, honestly. I mean, I still love making videos here on YouTube, but I've set a new trend now. It's called the walking TikTok, where you just walk towards your camera and with a song playing, and you just walk away from it.
Just do the walk away. Okay.
Like you look at the camera, like you pretend like you don't owe that camera, like you don't owe that person money, and you just walk right away from them.
Have some of those gotten some good views?
Yeah, like
what's the best ones? Like, what were the most successful ones?
There's one that I did. It was a wrestler by the name of Corey Graves, his theme song, and it got like quite a few views on there. And like, I don't know why. It just for some reason, some people keep calling me the man with the black hat, the Hat Man.
You're the Hat Man.
I don't know if you know the legend of the Hat Man.
Well, I've just heard of the man with the hat, or wait, no, I'm thinking of the man who's smoking from X-Files is what I was thinking of. No, who's the man with the hat?
Apparently, he's like this demon that appears when there's like a horrible things going on. He has like red eyes, and he appears at night and is like it stares at you, and like that's what people have been calling me because it's wearing this hat and my jacket.
So that's not. That's. So they think you're a demon? What's going on here?
I don't know. They said I look like him, but I'm like, I'm not thin. I'm a bit husky. I'm unexercised. But I'm working on my weight.
Are you? What are you doing to work on the weight loss?
I've been going to the gym and working out, lifting weights and stuff like that, trying to get on the treadmill and work out.
Nice. How much weight have you lost so far, and what's your goal?
I don't really have a goal. I've just been trying to work it off, and like I don't know what my current weight is right now, but I'm down from 420 pounds.
Oh,
basically.
Man. Jeez, I never knew you got that big.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was in the period of time after my father had passed away. I kind of had been losing weight, and then after he passed away, I kind of fell off the wagon and just kind of lost control.
Comfort foods and stuff like that.
Basically, like just kind of a mass depression, but I was trying to still keep myself positive, but at the same time, I was just kind of hurting a lot after he passed.
What are the foods that you think, what do you eat the most? Is it like late night cravings? We're eating bowls of ice cream or cereal or something? Or what is it that,
I think,
what are the foods that you really kind of gorge on?
Sometimes what I used to gorge on, sometimes I would just get little Debbie cakes and just like 2 at a time and just eat them and then drink a soda or something like that, or eat chips, like whatever was sweet, or I do a case of like sweet and salty and then a beverage, basically.
You ever have the cheddar and sour cream ridges? What are they? The ones with the ridges?
Chips, yeah, I've had those. They're pretty decent. I mean, I do like potato chips. They're pretty delicious. I've been trying to cut back on the soda and stuff like that. I've been sticking to like unsweet tea and stuff like that, half and half tea here and there, and trying to stay healthy and stuff like that.
Well, that's good. Well, we want you to be healthy, Tommy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So, North Carolina, is that where Mr. Beast lives? Do you live like around him, or have you ever considered being in one of his events or anything? Are there casting calls around there or anything for that, or on his website?
I have a manager that always knocks on I have like an internet manager that tells me that I should do his show all the time, and I'm like, I don't trust Mr. Beast. I seriously don't trust that man as far as I can throw him. Honestly, he's in the same category as Logan Paul. And do you have like a language barrier on this show at all?
We try not to say the F word because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube, so preferably not to.
Well, you mind if I use a censored word real quickly?
I mean, what word is it?
Fluff.
Fluff? Not the F word, not the F word, though. Yeah, don't use that.
No, F word, just fluff.
Well, if Mr. Beast is watching, I love Mr. Beast, so I'd love to be on one of your challenges or whatever. I don't agree with the I think Jimmy's an all right guy. I don't know. What is it about Jimmy that you don't trust, that he's rich, or you think he exploits people, or what's the thing that you don't trust about?
I feel like sometimes he exploits people. I feel like, yes, he does good things for the community, but I feel like he treats other people like peasants, and like just kind of walks all over the smaller people and doesn't realize where he came from. And with Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they're both fluffheads, honestly. Like, I freaking hate the fact that I turn my TV on and I see Logan Paul walking down the WWE ramp, and I just makes me angry.
Oh yeah, so he's in your world now,
basically. And I'm just like, God. Like, I have a feeling they're gonna try to make him heavyweight champion soon.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, the other guys are kind of aging out, like some of those other heavyweight guys. They can only do it for so many years, so they're probably get some new young blood in there.
Yeah,
and he has like huge social media reach, so they're trying to get that younger demographic and stuff.
I'm a mixture between a WWE fan and an AEW fan. Like, I like the products both, and they catch my eye.
Have you ever considered going to wrestling school and doing wrestling yourself? That could be a cool thing.
I at one point I considered it, but I went to an underground wrestling company and I took like 2 or 3 bumps, and that's what they call it in the wrestling industry, taking a bump. And my back was in tension for like 3 days after I did that.
Yeah, I've done some bumps before, but it was in Colombia. It was a little bit different. But
oh my God! Yeah, I know which bumps you're talking about.
A few nose beers.
Yeah. But I think we're thinking of 2 different bumps. Dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if you got a hot date later, because your tackle's not gonna probably work if you do enough. It's embarrassing. You just can't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Can't perform. Yeah, it's not good. So it's Friday night tonight. What's a normal Friday night like for Tommy NC210?
Probably gonna hang out with my friends or do something, go out to eat with somebody, hang out. I don't know. Just whatever direction I decide to go. It's hard to say. Whoever calls me first, I'll probably go hang out with them or something like that.
Do you guys booze it up? Or are you guys smoking a little Delta 8? What are you guys doing over there?
I've been known to kick back a few drinks. Recently, I just we're kind of getting. I don't know if you know about the situation that happened over here in Western North Carolina.
I'm not sure what do you mean?
Hurricane Helene. It just basically head-on collision with Western North Carolina. Just massive floods, and like there was a massive death toll here. I mean, I survived myself, but for 2 weeks I sat without power here, basically. Whoa. And it was like a humongous death toll here in Western North Carolina.
Wow, was that in the winter too, or when was that?
It was around September, near fall, basically, and that's when it was really bad, like, because winter was on its way, and that was not good.
What'd you do for the 2 weeks without power? Or bust out some comic books or something, or what were you doing? How'd you spend?
I basically just kind of chilled near the radio and listened to the radio to hear what was going on, and I kind of hung out with my mom and just hung out with her, and just kind of. Then at one point I went down to Florida, and then came back up here when things got better.
That's probably a good idea. No sense of sitting down there in the dark or sitting there in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, I held it out for a while, and it was just the damage is insane. You can, if you want, you got all the footage from around my area, like what it looks like right now, and it is like a bomb went off, basically.
Is it still pretty messed up?
Kind of. Yeah, they're working on getting. So there are some areas that probably won't be repaired because they're just like they don't need to. But there are some places they're working on, and it is still the devastation's insane.
I think I saw something about like Amish people from Pennsylvania going down there to help people and like rebuild.
Yeah.
You see any Amish down there?
Oh, I've seen a few. I've seen a few of them. The National Guard was here at one point, and they were like they would get up there super early in the morning and just be taking care of stuff, and yeah, it was insane.
I wonder if the government was responsible for that with their HARP weather machine.
It's hard to say. I think it's just a natural pattern of the weather, dude.
Or it could be a conspiracy. Tommy, we might have.
Is it out there? Do you believe it's out there?
I believe.
You believe? Do you believe in Joe Henry?
I don't know. I believe in John Henry. He was a steel driving man.
Yeah, Joe Henry's a meme of a wrestler. It's like, I believe in Joe Henry. It's just some ridiculous meme.
I remember
wrestling.
Mark Henry, wasn't that a wrestler? Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. He's still in wrestling still, but he's not really actively wrestling right now.
I think he was a black guy.
Yeah, they used to call him Big Sexy Chocolate back in the day.
Oh, okay. Well, so all the podcasts you've done, who are some notable people that you've interviewed?
I've interviewed quite a few people. I've interviewed, let me think, Grimm's Toy Show. I've interviewed a few people. What was his name? Chris Perillo, and just it's a wide list of episodes I've interviewed people, and just the list goes on and on and on and on. And I've also interviewed Keemstar too.
Oh gosh, how was that?
It was interesting.
Was he nice?
At times he was nice. Like he could. Keemstar can be a bit of a prick sometimes, and he knows he's a prick.
Yeah,
and
I've noticed.
And he's cruel to any person he meets, I feel like.
Yeah, he's kind of a user and abuser. I see he has a podcast, and it's just like make all the other guys look worse than him so he can make himself look better or something. It's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
Nah, really.
I guess that the game is just get old and get irrelevant. I guess that's what it's called.
Now, you said you've been living with autism. When did you know that you had autism, and how?
I was born with it, dude.
When did you find out that, did you take a test, or when did they?
Just like naturally, I just knew, like, I was tested and stuff like that. I went to special schools as a kid, so I've been autistic my whole entire life. I'm just high functioning because I've engineered myself to be a little better than where I've come from, basically.
I know there's different levels to autism. What are the things that your particular case?
Mine,
what is
mostly reading and writing. Basically, that's my my weakness right there. Is just like I can read small sentences, but have to use reading machines a lot of times just to even read messages here on like X and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But I just try to tread on and stay positive and send a positive message and entertainment. I've been doing other projects and trying to do some writing with my friends and just do what I can to keep myself busy in life.
Did you see what RFK Jr., he's now our health, in the health cabinet or whatever, Make America Healthy Again deal, but he said something about autism, but he was saying like people with autism can't use the bathroom by themselves, and like maybe some severe cases, but it just seemed like he really didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he's like, they can't write poems. And then of course this autistic poet was like, let's read your poems. Like, I write, he acts, you know what I mean? He made it seem like autistic people can't do anything. And it seemed kind of insulting. I'm not autistic.
I don't know. Maybe he misspoke or something, but I just don't much. I get in politics sometimes, but I go here and there.
Yeah, I just didn't like that seemed very demeaning. It was like, oh, they can't do anything basically because of their autism. It was like, well, maybe some people if they're really severe, but I feel like a lot of people find some way to manage.
I do what I can, and I do, waver in between the lines, but I just try to stay positive and just go on with my life and live life to the fullest.
Who are some other content creators you've crossed paths with? Maybe after
Well,
that Leafy stuff, wasn't there another thing at some point that you were on social media about at some point? I think
you talking about with Daniel Tosh?
that might be what it was.
Yes, I did an episode of Tosh.0. I've done it 2 times.
Wow.
Even when his show went off I think his show went off the air, and he was doing it on the internet for a while, and then I think Daniel just got tired of doing it. I think he just retired from doing that, basically.
How much do they pay you for an appearance on that show?
I prefer not to discuss that.
Oh, okay.
It was a decent amount. They paid for my travel to get there, and
Oh, you
I do
to go
get
to
some.
LA?
I get some residuals sometimes, occasionally.
Oh,
from
wow.
that.
Oh, wow. You even get residuals when it re-airs?
Yeah, occasionally, here and there, I'll see a check occasionally sometimes, but
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How was it being behind the scenes on Tosh.0? What was that?
It was pretty cool. It was fun. It was entertaining, and he's an interesting guy. He's really rough on his producers, but he was always chill to me. There was only one time he cracked on me. I just asked him a simple question. Hey, Tosh, you play video games? And he was like, Tommy, focus. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So
it's like, I do the questions.
What?
He's like, I ask the questions here.
Yes.
I
Basically.
am the question master.
The questions. So many questions.
Stay focused, Tommy.
Thanks.
That's funny. So
yes, and
so
but he was
a little
chill
bit stressful
dude.
behind the scenes with the producers. There's a little bit of friction. They weren't doing something right, he thought, or something apparently.
I will share a story with you that really caught my eye. It was the first time I went out there. We were sitting. I was sitting, and he was doing a segment. And this was not on the episode, but he finds his cell phone. And he's like, hey, there's a cell phone here. There's just a cell phone sitting here. Can someone tell me why there's a phone here? He's like, Daniel, there was just some budget. There was a budget. There was, there was money in the budget, so we just bought a phone. So you're telling me all of us have a cell phone, and you went out and wasted money on just a random phone to use for a flashlight? He's like, Tommy, do you need a random phone? I'm like, no, sir, don't need a phone, really. And he went on for an hour about this phone. He was just aggravated that his producers bought just a phone as a flashlight and had it as a set piece on set.
Wow, it seems like they've been doing that show a long time or something, him and the production team are a little bit clashing a little bit or something.
I've noticed that through a lot of the episodes, he uses his producers as common fodder. As a joke, he will use them in skits and stuff like that. And it's pretty funny. I see the stuff he's done in the past on his show is pretty funny and entertaining.
Well, that's cool. What all did you do in Los Angeles when you were there?
The first time I went out there, I visited a guy by the name of Cool Duder and hung out with him for a bit. And then the second time I went out, I hung out with a guy by the name of, the Wet Movie 1.
Oh, I know Wet Movie 1.
Yeah, me and him are good buddies, and the Fluffy Gamer also. I
know him too.
I hung out with him. The second time I hung out with them, and they're awesome dudes. Their content's awesome. They do hoarding up videos and stuff like that. And it's a pretty chill community of DVD collectors. They're my best buddies.
Yeah, Wet Movie. His name's Brennan, but man, I hate that he had lost a lot of his weight, and he gained it all back. Man, it's that's got to be a bummer for him, because I know battling weight loss, I'm overweight too.
It is. But here's the thing: it's with the ability of losing weight, there is a capability that you will fall back and gain it. But the thing is, the willpower for you to lose it again is always there.
Yeah. Well, I wish him the best. I met him a few times in Los Angeles, and he was always really nice.
Yeah, he's a chill dude. Him and Fluffy are good friends of mine, and I've hung out with them when I'm gone. I haven't been back out to California since, but I have some other goals in my life right now that I want to commit to and try to conquer. One of my goals is to go to Japan and go to the Godzilla Hotel and stay a couple nights there and like just because I'm a big fan of Godzilla.
What do they have at the Godzilla Hotel? Was it in the movie or it's just themed like Godzilla?
No, like it's a themed hotel of everything that's Godzilla. Basically, just Godzilla merchandise. You know, you even have Godzilla food, like themed Godzilla food, and just everything is Godzilla over there.
What would Godzilla food be? Like, doesn't he eat humans or? I don't know. What is Godzilla? It's shaped like Godzilla. I don't know.
Well, you know, if you look it up, you can Google images of it, what the hotel is, but they have all sorts of stuff over there, and it's just been my goal. I'm trying to, you know, save up money right now, and you know, if anybody wanted to donate for that, I have a PayPal, and if anybody wants to donate, but I'm just trying to save the money myself right now to go there at some point.
Are you working on an do you have a normal job that you do too besides content creation?
Yeah, but I'd rather not share what that job is because I don't want trolls or people harassing me at my job. Basically.
Well, maybe don't tell people where you work, but like what kind of industry is it? Is that something you could just like, you know, whatever type of job it is, but not like where it is?
All I can tell you is it's frontline work. I do like frontline work, and I work in like customer service, basically. That's what I could say.
Okay, well that's nice. So you're like kind of a, what is that called whenever COVID happened? Whenever people were like a crucial worker or whatever.
Masked all over. I had to wear masks and shit like that, and I used to, I could say one job I worked at Wendy's for 5 years.
Oof.
And that
didn't like Wendy's?
Not really. It was a decent paycheck. You know, you had to work 2 weeks back to back just to make a paycheck.
I've noticed just the hierarchy of workers, just judging by like the face prison tattoos the workers have. It seems like McDonald's is like a little bit higher on the tier than Wendy's, and then I always put Burger King like at the bottom. Like they always seem like they specifically hire people that are felons or something, like, and make them manager. But yeah,
well, I'm not a felon myself, but I just do what I can.
Burger King, you know, we're not talking about Wendy's. They got good people over at Wendy's.
Yes.
What are some wild story? Is that a Wendy's cup? You still going to Wendy's?
Yes.
He's still going to Wendy's.
Hey, they got a good grilled chicken wrap. I can't help it.
Well, if the chicken wrap's good, you know, then we can't. You know, they got a good chicken wrap. We get the Southwest or something. Southwest chicken wrap. Do you have any wild stories about working at Wendy's, or I don't know, just stressful situations or some kind of funny little something?
They just kind of yell at you and tell you to like do stuff, drop chicken, and just like wash the dishes. I did trash run mostly, and there was moments where I just wanted to quit and just walk out because there's so many times, there's just so many aggravating moments working at that kind of place, and just it's insanity. But I just endured it. But I did it for like 5 years, and then I worked, and then I left and went back to another job.
Did you put in your 2-week notice, or how did you quit?
I put my 2-week notice in, and
did it the right way. Did it the right way. Huh? You did it the right way, Prof. Even though
it wasn't like a country music song. Come and get it. You know, take this job and shove it.
Yeah, I know that one. Oh my God. Yeah, I've never worked. Well, I worked at a chicken restaurant, but it wasn't a fast food chain. But yeah, I was a dishwasher there, and it wasn't. Being the dishwasher, the lowest on the totem pole, you do the most amount of work and get paid the least amount. It's, you know how that goes, like getting paid the least for them, and then they work you the hardest.
Yeah.
Are those boobs behind you? What is that?
Yes, they're boobs. They're like I got them from like Spencer's.
What do you do? It's almost like it's ready for titty effing or something. Titty.
No, they're just a prop. That's all. It's just a prop that I keep on my set sometimes as a joke.
Nice little neck rest. You could just.
Yeah, and I got my helmet if I ever have to deal with. I got my helmet that I got for one of my friends a while back.
So wait,
what?
You don't like fat chicks either? I don't like fat chicks.
I don't like fat chicks. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me this helmet, so I don't condone what this helmet says. Okay, a friend of mine gave me this helmet, which I don't talk to him anymore.
If
honestly.
you don't like, if you want to take, if it's a vinyl graphic, you might be able to take that off with a hairdryer if you don't like want it on there.
Yeah, it was a prop from an old. It was a prop from an old zombie YouTube show, Surviving the Zombie Apocalypse with Rick and Ed. And I don't know if anybody would know, ever has heard of that, but it was just these guys telling people how to survive the zombie apocalypse. And they had all these all these goofy things to survive the zombie apocalypse. And I made friends with this guy, and I had kept connected with him. And, he just kind of had ups and downs with his life. And we've hung out occasionally, and we don't much talk anymore now.
Who are some dream interviews that you'd like to do, maybe wrestlers or whoever, for your podcast?
If I could, honestly, Danhausen. Danhausen is a guy that I've been watching on. He was signed to AEW, but AEW hasn't booked him recently. But I'd love to get Danhausen. Who else would a person I'd like to interview?
I'd love to wrestle Mick Foley.
Oh, I interviewed Mick Foley one time.
Oh,
I met him at a wrestling show down in South Carolina, and I got to interview him for a little bit. And I actually interviewed his son a while back ago.
He seems really nice.
Oh yeah, he's a really chill dude. He's down to earth, and I had mentioned, hey, say hello to your son. He's a cool guy, and I think he recognized me, and then he was like, hey, come over here for a second. You could interview me if you want. I'm like, really? And these guys are charging $20 or $50 for $100 these legends, and he just lets me do a free interview with him. It was awesome.
Very cool. When I was living in Los Angeles and sleeping in the back of my minivan, I met up with Adam the Woo and Jordan the Lion, and we went to a red carpet premiere for the Andre the Giant documentary. And
I love that documentary. It was awesome.
There ended up being a ton of wrestlers that came to that, so I ended up I tried to talk to all of them, and most of them wouldn't do it. But I ended up talking to the Big Show. He was really nice and did an interview with me. And
wow.
I talked to Rey Mysterio Jr. was really nice, and he did an interview. I tried to do an interview with Triple H, and he was like, screw off. And then I saw Hogan. He was like, screw off. And then I talked to Andre the Giant's daughter. She was nice. She's actually very tall too. She's definitely got the same kind of genetics. She's very I don't know when to say giant, but she's very tall, person too.
Unexercised.
I wasn't gonna mention her physique, but yeah, she's a little unexercised like us. But
I wouldn't call it fat.
I was just saying she's very tall. She's a very big person. You could tell that that. You could see her and be like, oh, I could see that's Andre the Giant's daughter. She favors him.
Yeah, the thing with Andre is I'm a big fan of Andre. He's one of my favorite. I think besides all the legends, I think Andre was one of my favorite wrestlers because I feel like he was a bit scrutinized, and he was at his time, he was one of the greats, and then basically he got forgotten about because Hogan stepped in the picture. And I'm a fan of Hogan myself. Don't get me wrong. I love Hulk Hogan. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I don't care about the controversies behind him. I think he's a chill dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did have a period of time where I did get blocked by him on Twitter for some reason.
You're blocked from Hulk Hogan?
Yes, but then I contacted his agent. I got a hold of his agent, and
quit messaging me, kid.
What?
He's like, quit messaging me, kid.
Kid? Thanks, appreciate that.
No, I mean, to Hulk were kids, because they were half his age or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, I contacted his agent. I said, hey, I think there was a misunderstanding. I don't know why I was blocked. And he said, well, we don't really use the Twitter page that much, but I can unblock you. And then like that, I was unblocked. I doubt Hogan knew who I was at that point. Like, it just kind of was me. I messaged his agent and said, hey, could I be unblocked? I never said anything negative about Hogan. I'm a big fan of the guy.
But he knows now. He knows now.
Because it's running well on you, brother.
I'm a real American.
Fight for what's right for every man.
I remember Suburban Commando.
Andre is number one. Remember that. I will break you. You want a peanut?
All right, Tommy, focus.
Sorry.
Stephen, yeah, I heard Andre would drink like 20 beers or something, and like bottles and bottles of wine, and like a half keg of beer, like crazy when he partied. He was just like wild.
Well,
like he'd party with multiple women, like, and these women, he could hold like women on his hands. His hands were so big. He just like, there's a picture of him like holding two women up, and they look like rag dolls compared to how giant he is. Did he have some sort of medical or genetic thing that made him that large? Like, what was the thing?
it was called giantism, I think it's called. It's a disease. It's a rare disease in giants, and like where if people have it, they just grow exponentially.
So that could be the same thing that the giants in the Bible might have had. If they talk about giants throughout history, in the Bible and different writings, but.
Well, the thing is that Big Show, the guy you said you also met, he had the same condition, except he got to it earlier, and he actually had it cut out of him.
How do they do that?
He just it was like a tumor, like it was kind of like the way the cell was they kind of removed it out of him, and it just stopped. But he stayed at the same height where he was at the time,
so he would have kept getting bigger and bigger if they wouldn't have removed that.
Yeah, like Andre didn't. I don't think Andre did that because Andre was afraid that it was going to stop his career. So like, I just don't think that at the time they had the technology to work on something like that for Andre.
Yeah, probably not. Now they're doing surgeries with like robot, like the Da Vinci robot thing. They're doing like, like they can even do remote surgeries where the doctor can be in another part of the world or something through like 5G cellular connection. They can like control the robot remotely now.
Most definitely, yeah.
Pretty neat time to be alive.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a interesting time to be alive. Just all sorts of weird stuff going on, and just flying off the edge there.
Yeah, it seems like we might be moving towards World War III or something like that. I'm worried about it a little, like, I think everyone's maybe a little concerned.
I think it's just one of the things that's just trying to make America great again and just make it healthy and just make things fair and balanced. I think that's what it is.
Are you happy with how Trump's been doing everything he's done, or there's certain things that maybe you weren't stoked about, or?
Well, it's just Trump is doing what he's doing, and it's like let's see what direction he goes with this.
See how bad it gets. Yeah, I do FPV drones, and the prices of the drones have doubled, and then even like everything's double. Like I was looking at getting a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and it was $530. Now it's like $750. It's like, ugh. I think I'm gonna wait till I get to Asia to buy it, so it's cheaper over there.
Hard to say. Like their prices have been increased, but like they'll come down eventually at some point.
Hopefully, because I don't know. Sometimes when the prices go up, then they're like, "Oh, people are already used to paying this amount." Let's just keep the price here.
Yeah.
I don't, because they like money.
It is what it is.
Nothing's getting cheaper. I remember when I was 16 and got my license. This was back in the 80s. Older. No,
I
it
was
was like,
more I was more of a '90s kid
yeah,
myself.
it was like late 90s. I graduated high school in 2000. But I remember gas being like under $1. You know, it was like sometimes 89, 90 cents. You know, sometimes it would go over. I remember people complaining about, oh my God, $1.25. Oh my God, it's crazy. You know,
Yeah, crazy. It's
now we're like,
out
oh,
there
it's under
insane.
$3. Whoa, better go fill up. Yeah, it's not. How much is your rent there at your place? You have your
I'd
own,
rather not say.
you have your own place or roommates, or what's your situation?
I have my own apartment. I got it's like 2 bedrooms, and
Damn,
it's my own place and stuff like that, and my own little studio, and I just kind of live life,
that's
and
amazing,
entertain the
man.
world, and do what I can.
How long have you had your own apartment? That's pretty dope.
Since the end of 2016, after the whole Leafy incident happened, uh, I had a whole bunch of stuff go on with that. My parents were like, "Tommy, it's time for you to be independent." So they found me an apartment, and I moved out.
Did that Leafy incident bring you some subscribers or money or anything? Did you benefit in it?
I made a decent amount of money when that happened. It was I should have invested it, but I was stupid and careless, and I wasted it.
I feel like you should have done a GoFundMe then, because people probably would have donated.
Oh, they did.
Did you do a
I went
GoFundMe?
we did a whole entire GoFundMe where I went to Playlist Live.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
How was
what is
that?
his name? Omar Gosh TV. You remember him?
No.
He's a prankster. He lives out he lives in Florida, but he's gone out to California. But he does investigations on ghosts and stuff like that. He's a prankster. He did some prank work in the past.
Ghost,
But
you
he,
say? Ghost.
But I worked with him, and I've worked with Harley from Epic Mealtime.
Wow.
I got to meet him. I'm still waiting for Harley to let me be on Epic Mealtime, but it is what it is.
I think are you worried you might have like a food relapse or anything? Eating 3-foot tall pancakes or whatever they make that day? It might be.
I don't know.
Might be dangerous.
Who knows?
Shit. I'm pre-diabetic right now, so I've been having to take this metformin stuff.
Jeez.
Do you have to take anything like that?
Nah, just trying to cut out sodas and stuff like that.
So you never got pre-diabetic even when you were like 400 pounds?
Nope. I've been healthy. Relatively healthy.
Have you ever had your blood sugar tested?
Not really, no.
Oh, right on. I had developed some neuropathy, like numbness in my hands, and started my fingers, and then it kind of moved more into my hand, and then like my feet and stuff. So I was like thinking, like, do I have diabetes or something? I think the doctors think it was related to a vitamin B12 deficiency from nitrous oxide addiction. So
Interesting. A while back ago, I saw that you were in a bit of a viral situation where you were sitting in that tractor trailer, went right by you, and you freaked out. And I saw that, dude. That was crazy, man.
let's focus, Tommy. I'm the quiz master. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I ended up having to appear in the court case for that. So they flew me to Colorado to be a witness, to basically use my video in court as evidence. So I just had to say it was unaltered, and that's how it went down, blah blah blah, kind of thing, so they could use the video as evidence. But they watched a lot of it, but they muted it because there was some F-bombs and stuff I guess they didn't want in court. So we just had to watch and they didn't want my voice to sway the jury or whatever, my opinion of what was happening, so they muted it. So we had to watch a 16-minute portion of my live stream just all muted, and just all just the video only. So we just sit there for 15 minutes on the witness stand while this video played. It was super awkward. You're
extremely lucky, man, because if you had been 2 feet over in that curve, it would have wiped you out, dude.
Well, I almost was about to get off the exit ramp right before then, and then I was like, oh, I'll just wait, and then that happened. And then after that, and I saw the fire, I was like, oh, I'm going to get off the exit ramp now. So, yeah, I went to Chipotle and got a burrito, and that, like, kind of, like, put me farther back in the timeline. So if I wouldn't have gotten some lunch, luckily, like, my food addiction might have saved might, like, not be great for my life, but it might have saved my life that day. If I would have been farther up.
A bunch of people died that day, and you got to grab a bite to eat, man. You're lucky.
Yeah, 4 people end up dying. They thought everyone survived. It was crazy. And then the guy got 20 years prison. Then Kim Kardashian came out, and all these people were like, oh, it's too much time. So then they gave him like 10 years reduced sentence. That's so crazy that just somebody on social media and people like signing a petition online that could actually, you know, they gave him half as much time basically based on that. I couldn't believe that had so much sway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. I saw the guy before the court trial too, and he was with his family, and they were speaking Spanish, and so I didn't really know what they were saying, and they were like, they did and stuff, and he looked real worried, obviously, and yeah, I
saw some footage of that.
It was weird seeing the guy before the trial, and I'm going to be like kind of one of the people responsible for putting him away. Like, it was a weird kind of juxtaposition. I was like, this is awkward.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was strange. I didn't think that. I figured he'd be in like a different section or something like that. I didn't know he'd just be, you know, they just let him walk around or whatever. You know, I was like, man, this kind of could have been dangerous for me too if he wanted to like hurt me or something. I mean, he didn't, but
it is what it is, man. You know, you just kind of live life and you just go where you go.
Who's on your hoodie? Who's that person?
Me.
Oh, it's you? Oh, that's cool. Is it airbrush?
Yeah. It's just like off of Amazon. Like, I got it custom made.
Really?
Custom made hoodie with a picture of me on it, and like I have a thing on the back of it. It's my comic book.
Yo, that's sick. You have your own comic book?
Yes, I have a comic book. It's on Amazon.
Do you write it or just draw it too, or what do you do with
I wrote it, and my friend Deborah Abbott, she drew it.
Oh, that's really
This
cool.
is the part 1 and part 2.
Wow.
And
why are you?
It's on Amazon.
Wait, are you naked in that one cover? It doesn't look like you're wearing. Are you in pants?
That's Grimm's Toy Show. Jumping off a turnbuckle. It's like a wrestling.
Oh,
it's a wrestling comic book.
I thought that was you naked, like splashing down into the woman or something.
No.
This is a typical day for Tommy. That's cool.
Now, like you know, there's a few people in it, collaborations and stuff like that. But
are those available
Deborah
online?
Abbott is
Are those available online?
Yes, they are. Amazon. If you look up the Tommy NC 2010 comic book, you can find them on Amazon, and it's all sorts of like there's like 2 of them.
How much is it?
Like what?
How much is it?
It's like I'm trying to think. If I remember last time I saw, it's like $10. I think $10 at least for it.
Are the pages black and white or full color?
They're full color. We recently changed. One of the original comic books was black and white.
Do a little flip through so we can just see, just a little quick flip through so we can see the inside.
This is part 3. This is one of the pages right here.
Flip through. That looks good.
This is.
That looks legit.
Yeah, she has worked for.
Don't show us every page, but just kind of flip through. Kind of give us a little. You know, when people might be copying and they'll screen capture and then they won't buy it.
Angry Grandpa was in it. He was featured in it. Kid Behind the Camera, he was featured in it. McJuggernuggets.
That was back when he was still alive?
Yeah, when he was... What?
When Angry Grandpa was still alive?
No, actually, we did a dedication to him. We contacted Michael and we asked him if we can use Grandpa's image and like have it like a dedication to him, you know, in the comic book.
Cool.
But... You know, that's like the end page right there, you know.
So you've collabed with those guys too?
McJuggernuggets?
Yeah, McJuggernuggets, Kid Behind the Camera.
I've wanted to meet him. I've always wanted to meet him. I've watched his content, and I watched his rise to fame and kind of his fall and his like mediocrity of just being there as a content creator and still being that dude that was like made one of the most entertaining series of them all, the Psycho series, which I sat and watched every episode when he released it. Basically,
what is it? The Psycho series?
Yep, the Psycho series, where he was like, he's just wanting to be. First, he wanted to be a gamer, but then he changed it where he wanted to be a YouTuber, and like his dad wants him to get a job and be like a regular citizen, and like be responsible, and just like he didn't think YouTube was a job or being a gamer was being a job.
Stop being a virgin, staying home all the time, boy. I know, I've heard it. I know that one. I'm planning.
Yeah.
My plans are. I just had knee surgery. I slipped on some ice and my kneecap dislocated, and I had to get a piece of bone shard removed from my knee cavity, and then they put a ligament from a cadaver on the side of the knee to like keep the knee from sliding to the side or whatever. And so I've been doing physical therapy for that. But when it's over, I plan on going to Thailand. I'm going to start my own burger food cart. And
nice.
I'm pretty stoked about moving there and starting a new life. Have you?
Most definitely, man.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to get to Asia too. I need to get you in Japan. I want to visit Japan too because it's a little cheaper, to like $100 cheaper to fly there, and then a trip from Japan to Thailand is only $100. So I was like, why not? Breaks the flight up too.
I was gonna say I'm working on trying to save money to go there and stuff like that. But Berg, can I just do something real quickly? I need to plug my cell phone in. Would that be okay? Or can you take like our?
Sure, yeah. Plug your cell phone in. I'll just talk to the people.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, Tommy's plugging his cell phone in, guys. We'll be right back with more Tommy NC 2010. How are you guys? How's the interview going? Are you enjoying it? Do you have any questions you want me to ask Tommy? Type them in the chat now and we can ask them. It's good to ask questions that aren't easily answered by yes or no. I don't always do that, but I try. Type any questions you'd like me to ask Tommy. What are his thoughts on the dark side of the ring? Okay. What are his favorite wrestling moves? Okay. Those are good. Ask when his last solid poop was? Okay. What is that? They're typing some questions for you.
Yeah, just a second. Hold on, brother.
All right, brother. Any other questions, guys? That's all you got? 3 questions? You're about as good at interviewing people as me. What is his favorite car? Why does that matter? I could ask him those couple wrestling questions. That sounds good. All right, Tommy's done a wardrobe change. He's welcome back to the studio, Tommy NC 2010. Shirt number 2. He's done a wardrobe change. Is this one a shirt of you too?
Yep, it's of me. I got this one off of Temu.
That's sick.
Yes.
You got your own fashion, the Tommy fashion line.
I try.
Very nice. So we had a couple questions. Someone wanted to ask, what is your favorite wrestling move?
My favorite wrestling move, I would say, I think one of my favorites is the Tombstone Pile Driver.
I think mine would be the Stone Cold Stunner, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
And the RKO, the most deadliest word out there.
And someone said, "What are your thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring?"
I think it's interesting. I think it's decent. There's a lot of interesting stories. One of the first ones I watched was about the story of Chris Benoit and what happened to him, and just all that calamity and all that insanity. I think it's interesting that they've been doing it for so long and talk about all the interesting insights about certain wrestlers, and it's very interesting.
I've seen the Chris Benoit one, the Mick Foley one, or Hell in a Cell. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones saw. I think about the Van something brothers. What are they? The Van Housen or Van? What are they called? The three brothers. They made a movie about it. Called Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, those guys. They did a Dark Side of the Ring about them also.
What are they called, guys? The Von somebody brothers.
Von Erichs, the Von Erichs.
Von Erichs.
The family that was cursed. They believe they have a curse, and half of them just they died in the ring or like had issues and stuff like that, and like it was a very controversial thing.
I saw one about, I think it was Mad Medusa or something, or Mad. It was about a woman, Mad something, but
Medusa or something like. I think that's what her name was, Medusa.
Yeah, that was cool. What are some of the ones you've seen?
I haven't really watched that many recently, but I did watch one about with Benoit. I watched the one about another wrestler that was in WCW, and he kind of like was like Brian Pillman. I watched the one about Brian Pillman and like just how his career just.
Yeah, I watched that one too. And then
I haven't recently watched any new ones recently, but
last night I watched the one about Doink the Clown.
Man, the original Doink, he died of a heart attack.
It was about the original Doink, but it had Mick Foley on there because like he wrestled with that guy, and he said he was like a big fan of that guy's like wrestling style and stuff. But I never knew they had other Doinks. They had like 3 different people that played Doink the Clown, I guess.
Yeah, like Vince had a line of people that would play different characters. That a certain person can play a certain character.
Didn't they have multiple Ultimate Warriors too?
No, there was only one Ultimate Warrior. He bit controversial with his situation. You know, like
I saw his documentary. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good. Yeah, he had craziest thing is I watched his last promo, and the next day my mom was like, "Tommy, you know who the Ultimate Wrestler is?" And I'm like, "There's no Ultimate Wrestler, Mom. There's an Ultimate Warrior." I said, and he said, "Well, Tommy, he died." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Mom, I just watched him last night on Monday Night Raw." And he did like this very emotional promo and stuff like that. And it was very heart-throbbing and just really good promo that he delivered. And the next day he had a heart attack.
Wow. Probably all the drugs and steroids.
It's hard to say.
Who knows? Sometimes they like to do a little bit of what do they call that? For steroids in the business or something, they have a name for it. Juiced or what's the other word for it, guys? Somebody might know it in the chat. We got a lot of geniuses over here. I've been watching like the A&E biography wrestling. Some of those I saw. The Stone Cold one was pretty good.
Yeah,
and I watched.
I haven't really. I try to watch TV when I can, but I don't like watch TV all the time.
I watch them on YouTube.
Yeah, me too. I watch stuff on YouTube and TikTok, and that's basically my news outlet. Basically, all the stuff I see.
What do you spending more time on? Which social media app?
TikTok mostly, and then YouTube. I check out stuff on there, but TikTok is my jam.
You're just swiping on TikTok most of the time. For how many hours a day do you think you do TikTok?
It's hard to say. Like I don't know.
Like if you're not working and you're just bored all day, like how long would you spend on TikTok, do you think?
I turn the TV on and I just scroll through TikTok and I just kind of watch TV, hang
Zone
out, watch like YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that.
My uncle, he was a manager of a grocery store, and somehow he got his hands on some tickets through like some kind of promo or something for WrestleMania 8, and it was in Indianapolis at the Hoosier Dome. And I got to go to that as a kid, and that was amazing.
Wow.
And we were kind of up in the stands for the first section, then it went to intermission. And the guy I was with, because I was just a kid, but there was this guy that was older. It was on a Sunday, so I had to miss church and everything, which was, a big deal to miss church. But this guy, he was like one of the minister's sons, Sean. He was a big wrestling fan, so he took me there, and he was older and had a car and everything. So we went there, and we went lower to like the floor for the second half of it, though. So we were like real close. We could see everything because there was a bunch
Awesome.
of empty seats. So we just acted like we were, going to our seat and just sat there in these awesome seats for the second half. But for the main event, like the last match, it was Sid Vicious versus Hulk Hogan, and they were doing this like mercy thing, and then like Sid kicked him in the groin or something, fighting dirty because he's the heel. And then at some point, Brutus the Barber Beefcake comes out of the back, out of the locker room, and he's got like all these bandages wrapped around his face because he'd gotten like burned or something before in the storyline. So he had all these medical bandages on still. And then he comes out with the shears and helps like Hogan kick Sid Vicious's ass while the like referees like backs turned or whatever, and then or knocked out or whatever happened to the guy. And I think Sid Vicious like hit the guy, the referee, with the chair or something. I don't remember exactly, but it came out. And then Hogan still won. And it was. Then they actually shot off fireworks indoors inside the
pyrotechnics.
It was crazy. It was like they were shooting fireworks off. It was like, what? Inside, it was dope. I got a Hulk Hogan bandana, and I was like wearing that all the time. Hulkster.
I've been to a few wrestling shows myself. I've been to a few WWE shows and AEW shows myself.
Are you into UFC stuff too, or boxing, or is it
not really?
For me, it's too violent. I don't really like UFC.
I'm not much a fan of like actual like I'm not a fan of like the other sports like football, baseball. Just like wrestling's my thing.
How old were you when you found out that wrestling was fake? Oh shit, you didn't know. Oh God, I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, here's the thing: wrestling is acrobatics, and like there's certain points that are fake, but being slammed to the ring and thrown around, that's not fake.
Yeah,
and
but a lot of the punches don't really connect and stuff.
Wrestling is just acrobatics and just like high intensity throwing people around, basically, and acting at the same time.
I didn't really mean it's all fake, but I meant more like,
hey,
a lot of the times.
I just kind of rolled my eyes at you, but I'm not trying to be hateful here, Burger, but I don't think you would have the balls to say that to a professional wrestler, which you should never say that.
I wouldn't say it's fake, but at some point, whenever VCRs came out, we taped it, and then you could do this thing where you press pause and it goes like frame by frame, so we could see that like the punches aren't connecting, and it's like, wait a minute, it was like, what? I think I was like 12 then. I was like,
well, they kind of like this. They kind of hit with the side of their arms, like they don't exactly use their fists. They like hit themselves with their the size of their arm.
Some of the guys are better at it than others, and it also depends on like where the camera's at and stuff to really sell it too.
And if you look closely, if you watch closely when they're throwing the punches, they throw it on their foot, so it makes a connecting sounds. Wham, wham, like that. They just make it look like they're actually taking a hit.
Yeah, they definitely take take hits and get hurt and injured. I didn't mean it's all fake, but I mean a lot of the times the punches aren't connecting, that part of it.
I could say this,
and they like
for-
already kind of know who's gonna win, like, you know what I mean? They already like decide. They don't really talk about that, but the matches are usually like figured out, like who's gonna be the winner at the end or whatever.
Well, I don't think there was a script in the part where when Owen Hart fell to his death and broke his neck. I don't think that was fake.
Well, sometimes things go off script, but the guys, when they're fighting, they're like, okay, I'm going to throw you off the ropes. They're telling each other the calls and stuff, you don't, I never knew any of that when I was a kid.
I just recently watched the newest I just watched WrestleMania this year, and it was interesting. John Cena just became 17-time WWE champion. He's retiring this year.
Yeah, he's didn't he turn into a heel too?
Yeah, he's just turned into a heel, and like he's doing that whole thing.
Why would you want to turn and go from babyface to heel at the very end of your career? I don't understand.
Is it something he never got to do? Like he just wanted to be a heel, so he just went and became a heel.
Oh, that's why? Because he'd always been babyface, so he just wanted to switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, John Cena's tour bus came to my Walmart once. They were all like, I was like, hey, did you guys? I heard Shia LaBeouf. I was like returning something at the service desk. I was like, I heard Shia LaBeouf was in town. They're like, oh, I never heard about that. But John Cena was here, his tour bus a couple months ago, and parked in the parking lot. It said John Cena on the side. They'll be talking about that for generations. One time.
Oh yeah, right next to John Cena's bus. It was amazing. I didn't get to meet him, but
I saw the bud. I got a picture with it, with the bus. I think he was in there. They dumped their sewage off in the parking lot. No, they didn't. So what are some plans? What do you got planned for the summer? What are some plans for the Tommy NC 2010 YouTube channel? You said you're getting,
hard to say, man. I kind of live day to day, and I just kind of do what I can, and just keep an eye out on my channel or the Tommy NC 2010 TikTok, and I just kind of live day to day, man. Just try to stay positive and live life to the fullest.
Who are some podcast people that you might have coming up, or do you have anything, some interviews booked, or do you just kind of do it week by week, or how do you go about it?
I do it week by week. I'm just kind of trying to see what I could do.
It's hard to get people for interviews.
Yes, it is.
I've been doing 3 a week, and I think I'm going to run out way too fast. I should just do 1 a week, I think.
Hey, it's all about dynamics, dude, and just asking the right question. I hadn't heard from you in a while, so when I saw a message from you, I was like, well, there's old Burger. He must be, trying to get back in the heaven sphere and just trying to dominate. And I said, yeah, I'll answer his message. You were always nice to me when you came on my show back in the day.
I mean, I try to be a gentleman and a scholar. Do you have any tips for me of things I could improve on my interviews? Because you do podcasts, so how do you think it's went so far?
I think you've done a good job, and there was a few flat moments here, but like I feel like you asked the right questions. You just keep doing what you're doing, man. It seems like you have your own style. Everybody has their own style of interviewing. I have my own style, so it is what it is. It's just you have to just bounce with the questions and just and the best thing to do is to study on somebody. I try to study a little bit about someone, watch their videos, ask certain questions about certain things, and it's just all about taking the right kind of punches.
Was the flat moment of the interview when I said that wrestling was fake? Was that the flat time?
Yeah, it's not Chad. But it's okay, bud. Don't worry. I don't hate you for that. I know you're like everybody else that that's out there, and people are sheep that just say wrestling's fake.
I explained myself. I don't really mean it's fake, but I explained what I was talking about. But
yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
How it's kind of scripted in a way. I mean, things happen that they didn't plan, but they kind of. Some people think they do that for pro sports too, or something. The one rig stuff like that, but boxing matches. I'm sure that
Yeah.
Logan Paul match or whatever, like a lot of his matches or what was Jake Paul box?
I gotta say,
Mike Tyson.
fluff, Logan Paul and Jake Paul. That's what I gotta say about them.
They're fluff.
They're garbage.
Tommy NC 2010's got a message for you fools. If you were,
I ain't afraid to step in the ring with Logan Paul.
if you're a wrestler, would you be babyface or heel? Because if people don't know, babyface is the good guy and heel is the bad guy.
I'd be like an anti-hero. I'd be like, one moment I could be a good guy, and one moment I could be a bad guy. Who knows?
Damn, you're the man in the hat, demon guy now. Oh no, he's putting the coat on. That's the demon coat. Damn.
Demon coat.
I don't. Well, didn't they say you're the man with the hat, the demon eyes, or something? Oh, he's putting the belts back on. He's like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers takes his sweater on, puts a new sweater on. Tommy goes home, puts his belts on. He's time to put the belts back on. Are you wrapping it up, or are you just putting the shields back up?
No, I'm not putting the shields. Just putting them on, and just kind of is what it is.
Put the belts
and
back on. He's like, I'm ready. Talk some shit about wrestling now. 2-time world champion, bud. Damn, that one says 007 and has guns on it, so that's like a gun wrestler.
It's a video game championship belt.
Oh, you won the game?
Yes, I 22 kills in the game. I fought different people for it.
Is that for GoldenEye or what is that?
Yes, for GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64.
Damn, you got a freaking heavyweight belt for GoldenEye? That's sick.
Yes, it's a custom-made belt, and this is also custom. Also, this is big gold. Also for the World Heavyweight MTV's Made Championship.
You should wear the one that has your name on it, like out to the bar or something. I'd just wear that as my like normal everyday belt if I had one.
Oh yeah, I do. Occasionally, I take it out with me.
Hell yeah!
Or I just wear this shirt and just show it that I got. I wear my shirt and show that I'm the champion.
Right? Do you have a fight tonight? No, I bought this on eBay. Yeah, I did. I was on pay-per-view. You're like, wow, there's not a mark on you. Yeah, you should see the other guy. He's in the hospital right now. I hope he was okay.
Yeah.
He said wrestling was fake, so I sent him to the hospital. How fake is it now?
Yeah.
So where are you guys going out tonight? You hitting up with the boys? What's the plans?
Probably. It just depends. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. We're going to figure out what I'm doing tonight. So it is what it is.
You ever sip on a little whiskey?
Oh, I love me some whiskey.
I like bourbon.
I'm a fan of, there's a particular brand here in Western North Carolina called Two Trees Whiskey. Ooh. And it's quite delicious and smooth.
Nice. I love a good bourbon.
Yeah, it's delicious. Very smooth. You can drink it with anything.
I'm drinking a little bourbon and Coke Zero here since it's Friday. I don't usually drink, but I was like, Friday. Why not?
Friday. It's Friday fun time.
Well, if you guys want to check out more of Tommy NC 2010, check out his TikTok and YouTube. Are you on Instagram too? Facebook? Or
yeah, Tommy NC 2010 on Instagram and Tommy NC 2010 everywhere.
Everywhere. Find him, check him out, follow him, subscribe to him, join his Patreon, send his ass to Tokyo. We need to get him over there. Get Tommy in Tokyo. Tommy goes to Tokyo. I used to do
Patreon a while back ago, but I haven't been doing Patreon. I think you're going to go over there
and you're going to meet some there's Japanese women over there, and you see how like Asian women are exotic over in America? When we go to Asia, then we're the exotic ones, Tommy. And the chicks who have white fever, they come to us, and I think you might go over there and you might find the woman of your dreams.
Oh, you have an American accent. Hello there.
Let's stay focused, Tommy. Let's never go full Japanese. Never go. Am I turning Japanese? I must be turning Japanese. I don't think so. Damn. Would you, yeah, man, I'd love to see you fall in love over there. I know there's somebody over there for you. You just got to get over there. You're going to fall in love. She's going to have big boobs like those pillow. Giant. Yeah, I like women too where their breasts are larger than their brain. That's kind of my... I don't like smart women. They're too smart smart enough to leave.
Most definitely.
All right, Tommy, much love. Let's all give Tommy a round of applause. Thank you so much for taking the time. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Burger, and hey, great job, and enjoy the show, folks. Keep on going.
Well, thank you so much, Tommy. We're going to do Kick News right after this. That was Tommy NC 2010. What did you guys think of the podcast? Another fun night on Fresh Off the Broiler podcast. But don't go away. Oh no, we're not done yet. In fact, we're just getting started. 'Cause Kick News is next. And you're not gonna wanna miss it. Don't go away.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.